Hello, my amazing artists. Welcome to another Art with me, Miss Taub. For this week and next week's assignment, I want you to create an artwork that is inspired by your family traditions. You might have heard that word tradition before, but you're not sure what it means. A tradition can be an event that your grandparents or your aunts and uncles pass down to you, and then it becomes something that you do every single year. Your family traditions probably come from your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, and they told their children how to do that tradition, and those children told their children how to do that tradition, and it got passed down all the way back to you. So this tradition might have something to do with the holidays that happen in December, or it might not have anything to do with the holiday, and that's okay too. Perhaps this tradition has something to do with an activity like sledding that you do in your neighborhood every year. Or maybe you help your grandmother bake cookies, a certain type of cookie with a very special recipe. Your tradition artwork will be inspired by what you do around this time of year. So, for this assignment, it is really open and you can use any type of material that you have at home. We've been learning a lot about collage, so perhaps you will want to create a collage that shows your tradition. Or maybe you want to make a sculpture out of your favorite blocks and then draw it. You can do a painting, you could do a collage, you could even do a marker print if you want. It is up to you, you are the artist, and I want to see how your amazing family tradition inspires your artwork. Before you do that though, I want you to include line, shape, and color, because line, shape, and color are the ingredients, the elements of art. They make up our artwork, and we've been learning a ton about shape recently, so I want to see tons of different types of shapes in your artwork. Before we do that though, I did tell you I wanted to show you an artist who uses her family traditions in her artwork. This painting by Carmen Lomas Garza shows her family traditions. I want you to look at this painting really close and find 3 really interesting details that you want to share with me. Perhaps you noticed that the little girl is hitting a piñata. Or maybe you saw that they are cooking some sort of meat. Maybe you took a look at all the different aged people around her. Or perhaps you saw the papel picados or the colorful flags made out of paper behind her on the house. All of these amazing details really tell you about her heritage. Carmen Lomas Garza is a Mexican-American artist. Though she was born in Texas, her family comes from Mexico. And the name of this painting is Barbacoa para Cumpleaños. Before I tell you what that means in Spanish, what do you think this is an event of? Maybe it's a family gathering of some sort, or perhaps it's a birthday. Barbacoa means barbecue, para means for, and cumpleaños means birthday. So this painting in English is called Barbecues for Birthdays. That tells you a ton about her family tradition and the tradition that she wanted to show in this amazing artwork. I cannot wait to see the beautiful artworks that you create inspired by your family traditions. I'm going to show you a little bit about my cultural heritage and a little bit about a family tradition that takes place in December in my house. But remember, you can use whatever materials you have. Maybe you want to recycle some paper or ribbon that might be left around your house, or maybe you want to use blocks and make a sculpture. I'm going to show you 2 different types of artwork that are inspired by the same family tradition, and I cannot wait to see yours. See you soon.
A tradition we do during Hanukkah is lighting a menorah. A menorah is a candelabra that holds 1 candle for each day. The tallest candle is called the shamash, and the shamash is the one that helps to light all of the other candles. This is what a menorah looks like on the 8th and final day of Hanukkah. But you add a new candle every day. So on the first day, there's only 1 candle and the shamash. There's also a prayer that we sing in another language called Hebrew. as we light the candles on the menorah. I'm actually going to create an artwork that's inspired by a menorah too by using found objects. Are you ready? Let's take a look. A found object sculpture is when you find objects around the house that usually wouldn't go together and you put them together and call it your artwork. For this found object sculpture, I took some crayons and used them like the candles in my menorah. And then I decided that it was kind of plain looking still, so I found this ribbon and created something called a weaving. A weaving usually is done with yarn and fabric, but for this weaving I used the ribbon around my menorah to kind of fill up the empty spaces and to give my menorah a finished look. Now, I know this might seem silly, but I had taken all of these objects from around my house and I turned it into a work of art. It was really fun. Then I decided that I also wanted to create an artwork based on the traditional game called Dreidel. We play Dreidel during Hanukkah every year at my house, and sometimes I even have Dreidel parties, and my friends come over and we play with coins. It's really fun. Dreidel is just a game that you spin a top like this, and on each side of the top there's a different symbol, and depending on what symbol it lands on, that decides what you're going to do with the pile of goodies in the middle. Either you put some in or you take some out, but by the end of it, we're all having a great time and we get to eat chocolate. It's really fun. For my Dreidel artwork, I decided that I was going to draw with crayon first on my paper and then create my favorite thing, a marker print for my background. What that does is it made a wax resist, so then the stars showed up behind it. Then I drew a dreidel and I cut up the pieces to create stencils or just a thing that I can trace for the shapes of my dreidel. And using my leftover wrapping paper from a gift that I got, which actually is a really good idea. If you want to create a collage from your leftover wrapping paper, that's a really good way to recycle and to save our resources. Plus, some wrapping papers are really beautiful, like these shiny ones that I used to put my dreidel back together like a puzzle piece. Then, using some marker printed scraps, I cut out the gimel and hay, or the letters for my dreidel, before I glued it all together. I cannot wait to see all of the wonderful, amazing artworks that you create. Remember, you can use any material you want, and please don't forget to show me a picture in Google Classroom and also to tell me about your tradition that you used as inspiration. Have fun, you guys, and I'll see you soon.